Hi everyone, I'm Evangeline right here at etrailer. If you want to carry around your WaterPORT Weekender tank on your truck looking kind of like this, well, I'll be showing you how I got this installed on our truck using our WaterPORT truck bed rack mounting kit. Now this is a kit that we add on to the Weekender tank. So there's many ways you can mount the tank, whether it's on your hitch, on your MOLLE panels, inside your truck or in your cargo area. This is just gonna be one of the many ways you can use this tank and set it up for your different types of adventures. The owner of this truck is actually using this whole setup this weekend for his vacation. He has his awning, he has his water tank or portable shower, and he has his cargo box as well as some other things you don't see on the truck. If that's a setup that seems really cool for you and you may want to take a look at some of our accessories here at etrailer to get something similar, or maybe you have a really cool setup where the WaterPORT water tank works out great for your adventures, please let us know, share your story, and maybe you can inspire other people along the way. Now there are different mounting ways for the Weekender simply because people have different needs or priorities for their campsite. Using the brackets to mount it to your ladder rack or truck bed rack, for some people it might be a little bit too much hassle since there's a lot of hardware involved and a little bit of figuring out because of the different adjustment points. Other people really like this option because it works well with how they have their campsite set up. On our truck here, for example, this is great. You have your campsite to the side of the truck. You could set up your camp kitchen back here if you need to, let's say, wash dishes or spray your dog off. Then just attaching the quick attachment hose and your tank is usable. You can also take advantage of the WaterPORT Weekender design where with that large black tank, as the sun comes down, as the light hits it, the contents of the tank can warm up a little bit, making for a more comfortable experience. So if that's your priority, or if you think that's a great addition to your camping adventures, well, let's go take a look at how I got this set up. The installation of your truck bed rack brackets is a little confusing because you have to consider where you want to put your water tank. Do you want it going parallel or perpendicular to your crossbars? What's the positioning of your ladder rack? And knowing all those things and how to adjust your brackets to match up will help you best customize this fit for your truck and for your adventures. Included with the kit are the brackets that go around your water tank. Also, you have the crossbar clamps, which are really just going to be metal plates that go on top of your crossbars. And then you also have a lot of hardware included to secure everything together. What's not included with your kit is going to be the tools you use to tighten things down. So what I brought to the table today are two 9/16 wrenches. So one's a wrench and another one's a socket. And then I also have a 1/2-inch wrench. And then I have a 3/16 Allen key. So those are my tools for today. You're also going to need your Weekender water tank. This bracket system will not work with other tanks because it is designed to secure to the mounting holes that are already on your Weekender. So go over to your ladder rack and just plan out where you want to put your tank. Do you want it underneath your crossbar like this? Do you even have the length or space underneath your bars? In our case here, our bars are too close together. It wouldn't work out that way. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna install it along the truck bed this way. We're gonna take a look at our bars and see if they will work with our brackets. Even our large Kuat crossbars here do work well. So that's gonna be the method that we're going about today. What trips most people up though when mounting lengthwise like this is going to be your crossbar spread. That's going to be the distance from one bar to the other. And what we need here is the outside end of one bar to the outside end of the other, because that's what needs to roughly match up with the mounting holes on the tank. So let's take a look at the mounting holes here. From the outside mounting hole of one segment to the other, that's actually spaced 12 inches apart. So 12 inches, and another 12 inches. And then from this end to the other end, which is what we are using today, that's 32 inches away. Now there is a little bit of wiggle room here if you don't have it perfectly lined up to 32 inches apart outside to outside end of your crossbars. So give or take a couple inches, you should still be fine. We'll start with the brackets. The bottom bracket is going to be the one with 2 slits along the bottom. And then the top bracket will have a lot more than that up top. You'll see this variety of ways that you can secure this to your crossbar. Now for our crossbars today, we would have had enough space if we lined up the bottom 2 holes here with the bottom 2 holes of our bottom bracket. But in order to be able to better see our system, we're just going to raise this up to the higher position. To secure it, I use the medium-sized bolts, and I have a washer on there, and I put the bolt in from the inside, and I secure it on the outside with a washer as well as a lock nut. Now don't tighten everything down yet until you have all 4 bolts on each side secured. Tighten it down with your 3/16 Allen key and your 1/2 inch wrench. And do that till all 4 or 8 per bracket are secured. Now it's time to set up your crossbar clamps. So to do this, you're gonna have your longer bolts. I prepped them with a washer first, and these will come in from the top. Now get your bracket, and this bracket will fit underneath the crossbar. And then remember the crossbar clamps you set up? Well, we have that bolt up top with the washer. We're then going to put another washer and another bolt underneath. As I'm threading down, you will see that of the different mounting points I could have used, I'm using the one where it runs lengthwise along the crossbar. That way I can adjust the distance of the bracket as needed to line up with the holes on our tank. But before I tighten down, I want to slide this along the crossbar to the spot that lines up with our other bracket. Since I set these brackets up higher to leave space underneath the bolts, I'm actually able to put the water tank in the brackets. So you just double check that everything is lined up and that everything looks good underneath as well with the mounting holes on the tank. Now tighten those bolts down with 2 9/16 wrenches. So it's actually a day later because I'm working on a bunch of different projects on our Gladiator. So we paused right before we fully mounted the tank simply because I wanted to make sure that everything worked together and fit our big adventure plan for this truck. So let's pick up again with mounting up the tank. The parts that we're going to be using here is our rubber bonded washer. The rubber part goes on the tank and the metal part goes on the bracket side. But WaterPORT says that this is sometimes included with the tank, sometimes included with the kit. Either way, you should have that washer. Then you have an oversized washer, a lock washer, and then your smaller bolt. Now, from my experience, some of these lock washers are so separated that they take up so much space that it is a little difficult to thread down your bolt. So if you struggle with that, you can do what I did, and I actually used a thinner washer, and that made it a lot easier to thread. I also recommend adding Loctite to your bolt. That's something that WaterPORT also recommends just for a best experience. The 4 washers fit between the water tank and the metal bracket. So you will want to line these washers up with the mounting holes in the tank. Balance on our 3/16 Allen key, I have the bolt, the split washer, and the oversized flat washer, and that way I can just push this up against that mounting hole and thread into place. So much easier now that I have that smaller split washer. Now tighten down all 8 bolts so that both ends of the water tank are secure. The main thing here is that lock washer needs to be flattened out so that you know that it truly is in place. That paired with the Loctite will make for a very, very secure fit of your tank. And that's it for the installation of your truck bed rack brackets for your WaterPORT Weekender water tank. From this point on, all you need to do is fill up your water tank with water and enjoy that journey. Hopefully this video was helpful for you because not every setup is going to look like this. Sometimes you'll want to run your water tank in different directions along your truck bed for whatever matches your adventure the most. And hopefully this video guided you through that process so that you can have the best time out there. My name is Evangeline. If you have any questions at any point, please feel free to reach out right here at eTrailer.